My name is Kevin. People mistake me to be a younger sibling, but I am in fact the eldest son. However, to Jennifer, my beloved wife, I was her second son. Jennifer's infidelity was discovered over a trivial matter. One day, I reached out to charge her phone, which had been left in the living room, and was about to run out of juice, to find a message from a man confessing his love to her. I immediately woke Jennifer up, who was dozing off, and decided to ask her about the text. "Who is this Jack guy? Who is he to you?"
"He's just a friend. I don't have any illicit relationships."
"What is this picture of you two hugging each other then? Is it a trend these days for just friends to take sleazy pictures of each other?"
"No, you've got the wrong idea. Believe me, please. You are the only one I love. I'm just playing around with him for fun."
"Sorry, but don't expect me to be okay with this. A mistake is a mistake. An affair is an affair. I can't be in a relationship with you anymore."
"I don't know if I can survive on my own if you abandon me like that."
Thus, I demanded 2 million yen in alimony from Jennifer and sanctioned the entire property division to my wife for that amount. Jennifer was thrown out into the rough and tumble of society almost penniless. However, since we had only been married for a short time and did not have much in the way of common property, Jennifer's share came out a little short and she had to pay about $4,000 in alimony to me. However, no matter how long I waited and waited, Jennifer never transferred any money to me. This was despite the fact that the settlement money from the man she had an affair with had been transferred immediately. It might be a little painful for Jennifer, a part-timer, but she had to keep her part of the agreement. 4 months after my divorce with Jennifer, I decided to go to her parents' house to have another meeting with Jennifer, but what awaited me there was tired-looking in-laws who looked as if they were about to collapse at any moment. Jennifer was nowhere to be seen, and the only thing on the front porch was a pair of old-fashioned shoes that looked like they belonged to an old person. I asked my in-laws where Jennifer was.
"Kevin, I'm sorry, but Jennifer passed away last month."
"She passed away? She was perfectly healthy before our divorce."
"It's your fault. You killed Jennifer, Kevin."
"What are you saying?" "Since then, I have only communicated with her through letters sent by her lawyer. How could I have killed her?"
"Jennifer took her own life. She became very depressed after the divorce. It's because you demanded alimony. You drove her into a corner. We wanted you to take responsibility for taking Jennifer's life."
"Responsibility? What do you mean by that?"
"Well, you see, our business is struggling in this economy. How about you loan us about $10,000? You better pay up since you're the one who killed Jennifer."
"Don't be ridiculous." I was saddened by the loss of Jennifer, but of course I could not accept the fact that the responsibility for her death fell entirely on me. I firmly refused the request for money from my in-laws and left their home with an indescribable feeling of sadness. 2 more months passed, and one day, strange events suddenly began to occur frequently in my neighborhood. One was the sound of rapping at night. Every night around 2 a.m., I would hear footsteps and the sound of clinking dishes coming from the living room, which was supposed to be empty. However, when I went to check on them from my bedroom, there was no one there. And to top it all off, I could feel the presence of someone coming from the ceiling. Naturally, the only things that would be in such a place would be rats or centipedes. When I slept at night, I feel a gaze that is clearly human. It might be Jennifer's vengeful spirit. I decided to talk to my friend, Jane, a childhood friend and fellow divorcee, about it.
"Jane's revengeful spirit? There's no such thing as ghosts."
"But I can definitely feel the presence of something in the ceiling. If you think I'm lying, try staying in my house."
"What's that? Is that an invitation for me to come over?"
"No, not like that. I'm seriously worried."
"I'm just kidding. There's no way you and I are going to have that kind of relationship now."
"You joke around too much. I knew I shouldn't have asked you for advice."
"I'm sorry. As an apology, I'll show you who the ghost really is."
"How are you going to find out?"
"We'll stake out the place together. We'll get a camera too. That way, it'll be easy to find out who the ghost is."
"Does that mean you're going to spend the night with me under the same roof?"
"Huh? So, are you actually expecting something to happen?"
No, nothing like that. Okay, let's do it. Right now, our priority is to find out who the ghost is, above all else. So, I reluctantly invited Jane to my house. So no matter how calm I tried to appear, my heart was racing. I was so excited because Jane, my childhood friend, was also my first love. But we were both over 30 years old, and I am not so childish as to lose control of myself over such a matter. I chalked it up to my fear of ghosts, and with a convenience store bag full of beer, which I don't usually drink, Jane and I set off for home. A few hours later, Jane and I somehow found ourselves face to face on the same bed, naked. Was it because we were both drunk from unaccustomed alcohol? Or was it because we were both single and had a lot of sexual desire? We were naturally seeking each other out without either of us going first. Okay, here I go. It's not my first time. You don't have to tell me. Sorry, but I never dreamed I would be doing this with you. What is it? You're not happy with just an old lady like me? Jane, you're still beautiful, even more so than when I had a crush on you. Kevin. We looked at each other, our hearts racing, and when our feelings were at their peak, our bodies finally became one. But then it happened. What the hell are you doing, you whore? Get away from my Kevin! As soon as we thought we heard a shrill cry from the ceiling, suddenly, the top board over our heads fell with a thud, and a large black shadow fell at our feet. The black mass let out a low scream from the impact of the fall, shuddered for about 10 minutes, and then suddenly came at Jane. Don't touch my Jane, you monster! Ah! Oh, come on! What the hell? Things were just getting heated up. Jane does not seem particularly afraid of the unidentified shadow, which falls from the bed with the force of my shove and struggles like an overturned turtle, and brings her face close to mine with a dubious expression. And then, hey! After a short scream, Jane looked at me and said, This is Jennifer. I thought she killed herself. Jennifer growled. Ugh, how dare you sleep with my husband? It was not a vengeful spirit, nor a phantom. It was Jennifer in the flesh. She was a pretty-looking girl, even though she had been lurking behind the ceiling for a long time. I thought that I had been running out of soap, shampoo, toilet paper, and rice for the past few months. I had been so used to living alone with Jennifer that I hadn't noticed, but the rate of consumption is quite abnormal for a man living alone. Hey, why are you here? Your father told me you were dead. I see. You probably pretended to be dead and tried to take up residence at Kevin's house, didn't you? I didn't have a choice. My parents disowned me and I had nowhere to go. It turned out later that Jennifer's parents lied to me about their daughter's death because they were afraid that I would ask them to cover the alimony Jennifer owed them. Well, they didn't seem to recognize that their daughter was living a life like some horror movie. I'm sorry. We didn't expect Jennifer to do something so outrageous. That's not the point. You guys tried to shake me out of my money, saying that it was my fault Jennifer died, right? We were just joking. You didn't really think it was serious, did you? No, of course not. Shut up. I'm not going to be fooled by such excuses now. And Jennifer, what you did was trespassing and theft, which is a very serious crime. I will be sure to file a police report on this matter. Oh no, I don't want to go to jail. I think it's a much better life than sneaking around in my ceiling. Thus, after saying all I had to say, I immediately called the police, and Jennifer and her parents-in-law were taken directly to the police station. In this subsequent trial, all three companies were given suspended sentences, but the amount of the fee Jennifer had to pay increased from $4,000 to $10,000. After that, I got a restraining order against Jennifer, and I was finally able to get my life back to normal, more than half a year after the divorce. Thanks to this, I've been able to make love to Jane every night as much as I want, even though it ended halfway through that day. We have known each other for a long time, and since we are both divorced, we are kindred spirits, so I am sure that our romantic relationship will continue. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We look forward to seeing you again. Please subscribe to our channel.